Guys, today a video about something that I feel is very important to the entire world actually. That would be that you don't have to believe everything that you feel. This might sound weird at first, because usually like people identify with their feelings, and I think that's exactly where the problem lies. So I used to identify with my feelings all the time until I started meditating and realized that I'm not my feelings. I can watch my feelings, I can observe them, and I don't have to react to them. And that is the key, and that is so important because if I identify with my feelings, if I get mad or disappointed or sad, I will react right away because I feel that I have to defend myself because this is me right now. I am the anger, I am the fear, I am the disappointment. And I have to fight for my right. I have to fight for the apology of the other person. I have to hurt the other person maybe so I feel better about it. And that means that I'm not at peace at all. I mean, I'm completely losing myself right there in the feeling. So when you meditate a lot, you learn that you can actually take a step back and actually watch all that chaos inside your head in those moments. It's a lot of training and hard work, of course, to learn to do that. But it's given me some epiphanies and some really big learnings and understandings for myself that I kind of want to share with you. So it is really important to understand that everything that is happening inside of you is just happening. Like, that's the first thing. It's happening, but it's not you who's doing it. It's not like there is a danger or like a situation that you can't handle about it. It's just there. So it's just first step is just to accept that you're having this feeling and that it's okay to have this feeling. The second step would be to understand that you don't have to react to that feeling, that you can actually just be there with it and let it be there and let it do whatever it wants, to let it go crazy in there if you're angry, or to cry if you feel sad about something. And sometimes when you start watching and observing it, it kind of loses its power and it kind of doesn't seem that big anymore, you know? So the second step would just be to let it express itself in a healthy way after you accepted it, and just to let it be and to feel it instead of getting it out right away. Sometimes, of course, it is healthy to get feelings out and to um, to talk about them. I mean, most of the time it is actually, and it's good to express them and to actually talk about a conflict that you had with someone. But I think you can only do that if you are at peace in that moment. If you get mad or sad or whatever, it will just, when you try to talk about your issue, it will just come out with all those emotions inside of you and with all that hurt you have inside of you. And it will not be, most likely, it won't be a very helpful conversation. You might even feel worse after. You might even, blame yourself, because sometimes after we're like, why did I say that? Why was I so mad? Why did I scream at that person? Why was I so unreflected in that moment? And it's only after that we realize that we did something stupid or something that wasn't really our intention to do, but we were driven by our feelings. And that is exactly why it's so important to start feeling what's happening in there and to understand what situations trigger those feelings inside of you. And when this happens, to actually take a breath, stay calm, accept it, see it the way it is. And in that moment, when you take the step back, you actually realize that you don't have to act on it right away to defend yourself or to get approval or whatever it is you want in that moment. And you can take responsibility for this feeling, and you can take responsibility for your own life and for yourself, and get in touch with that feeling first and try to sort it out for yourself first, and to let it be there and give it space. And when you have done that, it will get more peaceful inside of you, and you will get your head straight again. You'll get a clearer view outside there, and you will know how to say things in a way you want to say them, how to speak reasonably. Reasonably? I can't say that word, but you know what I mean, I hope. Yeah, just to have an adult conversation. And I think that is like a really important thing, because a lot of times when we just explode like that, when our feelings inside of us explode and really overwhelm us, that is usually, like in a lot of situations, that would be a sign that something that was hurtful to you in your childhood, when you weren't seen or where you weren't treated respectfully the way you deserved to be, those hurtful things inside of you, those wounds, they come up in those moments, and they trigger you, to really lose yourself in extreme emotional pain, or yeah, just in very extreme emotions. So in the moment, you actually don't react and start breathing and really taking a few seconds for yourself and sorting it out for yourself. That's actually the key to really, really good relationships, to helpful and to helpful conversations that actually make sense and that actually bring up a good solution. And you didn't have to defend your ego to feel better about it. You didn't have to hurt anyone, and you're just really calm. And of course, this takes a lot of practice. Of course, you have to really understand your own inner life. You have to get a connection to yourself to really understand your inner child, your inner critic, your emotions that come from a time that has long passed. It's a lot of work to do, actually, but I can say that it's really worth it. And I've been doing it for a while. It's not always working, but I've definitely changed a lot, and definitely my conversations and the way I handle difficult situations and difficult people have changed a lot. And that is so good to see, because it's very rewarding, because you just don't have so many complicated situations anymore that I used to have. And I'm like super grateful for that. And of course, this video is just a little introduction to the subject. I mean, to actually really practice this, you would have to go a lot deeper and really take the time to connect to yourself. And I'm intending on making more videos about that soon, so you'll get a bit more of insight and understanding for the whole thing. There are a lot of tools to use to get there, but I just wanted to make clear the importance of not having to react right away to your feelings, and that you are not your feelings, and you don't have to identify with what you feel, but you can take a step back and just observe instead of acting on it, and it will get better when you breathe, and it will not overwhelm you as much anymore. And that is just super important. So thanks for watching this. I'll see you around, guys.